Hey everybody, this is an episode of your second and third favourite podcast, Dirty Glass, because your first favourite podcasts are Over a Glass with Shanteh Wale and Dirty Linen with Dani Valent. That is me. Every now and again, we get together and do a crossover podcast where we talk food, drinks, fun, emotions, all the things we're feeling, especially at this lazy end of the year. Hey Shanteh, how you doing?
I'm so good, Dani. Nice to hear from you and to hear your upbeat voice.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to hosting a New Year's Eve party. So I've got to bring the cheer. And I'm actually feeling, really optimistic about that and about 2025. Call me crazy, but I am.
No, that's good to hear, isn't it? I was thinking about that the other day and thinking, you know what, no matter what season you're in, whether you're in the absolute shit, where you just have to get all these deadlines done or, it's just the crazy hospitality time, it's kind of still got a buzz in the air this time of the year anyway, doesn't it? So I think you got to lean into it and just embrace the chaos and just go, we're wrapping one up. The possibility of what is to come is on the horizon. So I really like that you're upbeat and you're feeling good about that. And who doesn't want to have a party?
Well, everyone wants to have a party, so obviously you're invited if you want to make your way down from the coast to sunny Melbourne. I think last year I served brisket in rolls. Kept it pretty simple, just made some salads, bought a brisket from Southern Grace Diner, which is in Caulfield in Melbourne, which does, I reckon, the best brisket in town. Sliced it up and everyone, obviously the dog, but all the people were drooling. And it was really easy, snacky, just memorable party food. Someone took a bite and said, "This is the best thing I've ever put in my mouth."
Wow, that's what you want to hear.
So, yeah, obviously I can't best that, so I might just repeat it.
I feel like you're a good person to talk about in terms of hosting, because I think this time of the year we all, want to get together, but the person that does the hosting often has the hardest job. Do you think that the best kind of way to host a party is just to be really organised and, like you said, not make it a super chore to do a lot on the day? Is that the secret?
I mean, people say that, and people also say don't ever try anything for the first time when you're hosting. I think I break those rules all the time. I do love cooking for people, so the effort to me is part of the pleasure. Although I'm also very happy to offload. I don't know, someone wants to bring something, sure, bring a cake. Yes, bring some fruit. I like to offload some of that stuff. But I do enjoy making a list, thinking about it, thinking what goes together. And then, when I go to the market and see some amazing white nectarines, I decide on the spur of the moment to do a, grilled nectarine salad. So I wouldn't say I'm wedded to the list, but I actually keep my lists and I love to look back at them because I reckon to me, more than a photo, they are the memory of the party for me.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a joyous occasion when we get together, isn't it? And like you said, we don't get to do it very often. So I see a lot of people stressed at this time of the year about it all working out perfectly. And I often think on the day, nobody really cares. So what, you eat lunch at 4:00, everyone's just kind of like, yeah, whatevs, I've got nowhere else to be. So I feel that, it's a good reminder for us all to kind of take a bit of a chill pill and just let it be whatever it's going to be.
Oh, I think that's so true. You're the one hosting. I mean, that is already such a gift. I would say that's pressure's off after that. You've done your bit. If you can open a packet of chips on top of that, then all good.
Exactly. Champagne and crisps is a good thing. Now, what are you going to be serving everybody? What's on the beverage list?
Drinks wise, well, it's definitely champagne for me. I do love bubbles. Has to be super cold. But I would love to know from you, Shanteh, what do you reckon is the best vessel to serve sparkling wine in?
I am a big softie for just a good old white wine glass. Don't get the flutes out for me. It's just another bloody thing to polish. And I just feel like you don't get as much aromatics from your drink as that. It's kind of all enclosed. They look pretty, but I like it to be easy. I don't want multiple glasses on the day, so I just pick one white wine glass and drink everything out of that. In my opinion, that's the way to go. But, you know, a lot of people like those big open kind of, what are those old-fashioned ones called, coupe glasses and things like that. If you've got something special, sure, but don't forget, it is, you know, a bit of work to wash them up at the end of the day.
Yeah, so true, and maybe not what you want to do. Now, I've got a cocktail that I came upon actually, I reckon, towards the end of winter, but when I drank it at Elio's Place, a new restaurant in Flinders Lane in Melbourne, I thought, ooh, this is going to be my drink for the summer. So are you all over the Americano Perfecto?
I'd love an Americano, but I can't even remember the last time someone ordered a Perfecto off me. Tell me all about it and why do you love it?
Well, because it's got like bitters, so Campari, some vermouth, and instead of the soda, you top it up with lager.
Now, I'm a big Shandy fan, so that doesn't freak me out at all. That sounds really good.
It's really good because I love the idea of beer and I love the first sip, but then I just get really full. So I feel like for me, I'm a spritz girl, but I think if I can have a bit of, you know, the summer vibes of beer with a bit of the spritz vibe with the Campari, then I'm pretty excited and it's so refreshing.
That sounds really good. I feel like, you know, back in the day when these drinks came about, people just, you know, like a good punch, you chuck something in a bowl, you add a bit more. We kind of need to do a bit more experimenting like that, I think. You know, what have we got open or what else can we do? And let's just make it taste good. That's where great ideas are born.
And also, I think beer with ice. I don't know if that's allowed, but it's allowed when you're having an Americano Perfecto cocktail.
Yeah, I even think white wine with ice. I mean, have it however you want it. And some people quite like that. You know, we've got a lot of drinks on the market that are a little bit lower in alcohol these days. But if you do have something like a Chardonnay and you love the taste, but it's quite rich and heavy, a couple of cubes of ice. I'm not going to get mad at it. If it's 37 degrees, like, go for it.
Ice up, I say.
Yeah, nothing worse than having like warm beer and warm wine on a hot day is just a bit blah.
Yeah, no, that is definitely a recipe for blah. Shanteh, you've got your little one at home and obviously you're cooking a lot when you've got small kids. What have you been cooking? What have you been whipping up in your kitchen?
God, I love cooking and it's one of the things that I won't give up. So my poor son has to have a bath at a stupid o'clock early because I don't like to be disrupted once I get into the kitchen. But he's at the age where I'm still trying to like show him all the different things. So it's a lot of kind of, okay, I'm going to get a couple of apricots. I'm going to buy a couple of plums. Don't think he's tried those. So I've got lots of things on the go. But I have been making a lot of kimchi toasties at the moment and I feel like I'm like 10 years too late. Like you'll obviously say that's a has-been, but I don't know if it's just I have a lot of fermented foods and I've just been like the sriracha, the Kewpie mayo, some kimchi and a good cheddar. I've been making them quite a lot, like probably too much.
Oh, there's no too much and there's no it's old. Kimchi toasties are the bomb and like I think they're amazing because you get that ooze and the spice, the golden crunchy bread. Oh, I think they're like a staple food, definitely.
And what else? What are you going to cook for your party this year? You said you've done brisket, which is obviously hard to beat. What is people going to be putting in their mouths that's the best thing ever this year?
Well, I reckon a simple stone fruit cake is always good. Whether it's the nectarines or a plum's actually amazing. So just a really simple, almost like a pound cake batter in a big tray tin. And cut up the fruit, maybe in slices. If it's apricots, maybe they're just halved, chucked in there. They just get a little bit oozy and soft as the cake bakes. And the edges of this cake get a little bit crispy. Cut it into squares. And it's actually a great one for picnics. It's a great one if you're taking something to somebody else's house. And it's really nice, like a dollop of yogurt, cream, of course, creme fraiche. It's really nice and it keeps for a few days if for some unknown reason you have leftover cake.
Why you would, who knows? But I agree. And then it's also because, you know, those beautiful kind of orchard fruits like that, they retain so much moisture, don't they? So you can always have like a really moist cake when you've got something like apricots or peaches or nectarines throughout it. Yum.
Yeah, absolutely. Probably the other thing I'll do is it's sort of a riff on an Ottolenghi recipe. I find Ottolenghi's recipes, like, I like the ideas so much. I find the quantities and all the bits and pieces a little bit fiddly, but like 110% like out of 100, whatever that my maths is. Sorry, summer maths. For this tomato salad where he's got fresh tomatoes, got roasted tomatoes, got like pan-seared tomatoes. So just whatever tomatoes, all different ones, chopped up on crazy angles. Some are a little bit soft, some of them are fresh. Just you don't need anything for that except the tomatoes, salt, olive oil, and it's just looks so beautiful, looks like summer. And yeah, I just love, I think the salad in his book is called Tomato Party, and it's such a great name for it. It's really so clever, so simple, summer genius.
I love that about my favourite cookbooks are the ones I flick through. I look at a picture and go, oh, that's inspired me. And then I close the book and then I go do my own thing. So I really feel you. And I've got a few Ottolenghi books that I look at a picture and I go, yum, that's what I want to eat. I'll figure out how I'm going to do it.
Yeah, no, I love the riff. So Shanteh, what are you drinking over summer?
Oh, good question. You know, I've been kind of toning down the huge selection of wine of late, and I think that's because I taste so much wine. I get a little oversaturated in lots of different flavours and I just want to enjoy one or two things. So probably this year we're going to stick with fizz, of course, but I'm going to go Australian fizz this year and do like a couple of different bubbles from different places. So, I mean, one bottle goes like, you know, in 5 seconds in my house, so with all the family there. So I'm going to do a little bit of like Tassie sparkling, a little bit of Prosecco, and then probably a little bit of, you know, kind of traditional method. So three different, someone that wants something fruity, I'm going to give them like a nice Prosecco. Somebody that wants something that's a bit more biscuity and nutty, a traditional method maybe from Tassie or up in the Adelaide Hills. And then just Riesling Chardonnay for whites. And we're going to do Pinot and some aged cab. And then I'm going to bring out the fortified. So I know I said it was going to be less of a selection, but that is for me.
It's all relative.
Isn't it? I get such a hankering around this time because I don't have it like Christmas pudding and fortifieds. I don't have them very often. And I just thought this year I'm going to lean in. I'm going to open some of my birth year ports and just a few other things I've got lying around. And I was like, oh, I want to sit back and just have a small glass, but kind of open some cool things that we don't get to see anymore, because I always wait for this time of the year. I open one bottle, have one glass, and then it's over. And I feel like, no, just extend that out into January sometime.
I love this attitude that you're bringing to the new year. It's so good. Yeah, I think like just as I feel like I'm trying to bring out the best china, not that it's that best, but it's like use the best china every day. It's like drink the best drinks every day.
Yeah, I agree with that too. And do you have any, I was talking to my family the other day about, was actually trying to explain traditions that we have this time of the year and even stuff that's just recently developed. And I was like, you know, it's not something that my grandmother did, but it's just kind of like, oh, you know, we always see in the new year like this. Have you got any kind of festive summer kind of traditions that you do this time of year?
I don't know. For me, summer, it's a very personal, I don't know if it's a tradition. It's just something that I look forward to. I love ducking my head into the ocean for the first time every summer. So it's just me, my boogie board, the waves, and, you know, blue skies, and just that, just the contrast of the heat of the day with my cold, wet head. I don't know. It's just really, it's a marker for me. It's like, yep, it's we're on. It's summer.
Yeah, it's the perfect way to kind of greet a new year. I agree. And I can just see the image of you with your big radiant smile, you know, just being tousled in the waves just was so vivid to me right then. Of you just being like sand in your hair, no one around, just being like, yes, I love this.
Shanteh, you should see my boogie board. It's really epic. It's sort of 80s fluoro pink, and aqua stripes, like swirly
Amazing.
stripes. And I am actually really excellent at boogie boarding.
I don't doubt it for a second. Oh, that's so cool. And tell me, like, how do you kind of round out a party? Like, if I was to come to all the way down to Melbourne, which I'd love to do, but it's never happening, sadly. Are you guys like gamers? Do you like bring out the board games, or are you kind of like, you know, people that nap after and everyone goes to their separate little corners and has a little sleep? What's the kind of end of your parties look like?
It's definitely there's going to be dancing.
Good.
And I don't know, maybe running outside to see if we can glimpse fireworks. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's, you know, getting that bit older. When the party's over for me, it is so over. So I would probably just go to bed.
Yeah.
Like, people keep partying, no worries, you know, shut the door when you leave. But yeah, this lady's out. But yeah, I think that's fine, right? I think when you got good friends over, they're not going to be too fussed if the host goes AWOL at the as long as the food's all out. What about
totally
you?
agree.
How do you close out a party?
Oh gosh, these days I'm very similar to you. I certainly know when it's my bedtime, and the marker of a good party for me is that I do get to bed at some reasonable hour, so I can just get up and be cheerful the next day at 5 a.m. when my baby wakes up. So yeah. I totally agree with you, but I did speak to my mum the other day and I said to her, look, I'm too old now to start like morning drinking. I'm going to have to wait for about 2 p.m, but then I'm going to go hard. I'm just going to let you know in those next 4 hours I'm going hard, and then I'm going to bed. And Mum goes, okay, yep, all right, I'll be prepared for that.
Yeah, great. I think it's all about the pre-warning. I think, you know, then all bets are off. Do what you want. Shanteh, can we make a plan or a pledge to have dinner together in 2025 at a restaurant that I would love your guidance through? And the restaurant I'm thinking of is Circl Wine House in Melbourne, which is a very wine-focused restaurant, which has an amazing cellar. The cellar is actually upstairs. And they pour a lot of great wines by the glass. Have you been there?
I have. And I think they've come out of the gates really kind of with a statement. And the statement I really love because it's all about accessibility of wine and fun, but with like, you know, super serious wine. So I think Xavier's done a really fantastic job, and the cellar is very impressive. I would definitely love to go with you for sure, because I certainly think the way that they've tried to express the menu to give you kind of wine experiences, but kind of to lead you in terms of the way they've written the menu so that you don't necessarily have to call over a sommelier to explain. I love that, because I think calling a sommelier over can be really quite daunting for a lot of people. So the way that they've kind of invited you in with the wine menu to say, hey, come on in, this is actually a really cool place to be and you're going to have fun, and you can see us or you don't have to see us, you know, I think that's really cool.
Yeah, it is really cool. And Xavier Vigier, the venue manager and head som, I mean, I guess he's the kind of som that you wouldn't be too frightened to invite over, because he's all about trying to make the wine accessible. And I don't know, I love the fact that you can just do a little flight and sort of educate yourself about, I don't know, wine from a certain region or a certain variety. And I just found it very adventurous and really fun. But I think to go there with you, with your depth of knowledge, and your great ability to crack a joke, I think it would be extra fun.
Look, that's what I like. You know, if I was thinking the other day, what do I want more out of 2025? What more can life bring? And I was thinking, in terms of my industry, a bit more fun. I just want more fun in wine. I want people to get their heads out of their ass and just talk and enjoy and toast and drink and, you know, have smudges and wine stains on their glass and lipstick and just enjoy it, because that's what it's all about. So I certainly think that we should make a date, put it in the diary, and make it happen, because that's one of the things. We've always got these great ideas, but they all tend to peter out. But if we lock it in, I reckon that would be an amazing day. And what do you want out of 2025? Big question.
Big question. Well, we have a lot of witnesses to our dinner date. So first of all, we'll give that a big tick. And maybe we can do a little bit of a podcast from Circl or afterwards and wrap it up so we can share our experience with the listeners. What do I want out of 2025? I don't know. I suppose, like everybody, I'm always looking for balance. So I think for me, it's about being grounded at home in Melbourne and just doing a nice bit of nesting, but also doing some really conscious travel. So I feel like, I don't know, I'm not really feeling like going away for months at a time these days. I am really all about the quick hit. Going to a city, because I do love cities. Sure, nature, love that too. But I love the idea of going to a city in Asia for 6 days and then coming home. So just diving in, eating 6 meals a day and exhausting myself and then coming home and into my cozy nest. So I'd love to go to Seoul this year or the year coming. I would love, let's just put that out there, I would love to go to South Korea.
My gosh, so much amazing food. There's so many dishes. Yeah, I would die to go there. That would be amazing. And I'm so with you on the short little hit of adrenaline that you get with a place and then not be away for too long. I definitely am trying to do a little less travel, but still, make some important trips. But not so much with the, one day layover back in your own home and repacking the bag. That can be pretty exhausting.
Yeah,
as you know.
I guess it's like travel should feel fun and something that you really look forward to and can put a lot of energy into, not something that is a drag.
Yeah, I agree. And it's a hard balance, but I feel that you're very capable of making those things happen. And I hope that 2025 is all about that and that you see it off with a big bang and then a lovely, cold, salty, refreshing swim. I'm going to take you up on that as well and dip my head in and maybe I should get a boogie board.
Well, I will let you in on the good waves, Shanteh. I would love to be in the ocean with you and then we could sort ourselves out with a nice drink and a nice tomato party afterwards.
Sounds good.
All right, well, let's make 2025 the year of the wine world getting its head out of its arse and smudging its glasses. The food world giving us tasty, intense, joyful experiences, and let's make it a year where the plans that we make come to fruition. So that means, when you say, I would love to catch up with you, we actually do those catch-ups.
So true. And if you don't want to catch up, just don't say it.
That's so true too.
We can just say, I'll see you around.
Yeah, I love that. Good. Perfect phrase. Well, Shanteh, I will see you around, but I will also see you. Always so good to catch up with you. Wishing you all the best for a happy new year.
And to you, Dani, it's always a pleasure. Cheers.
This is Dirty Linen, and I'm Dani Valent. We air the issues that the hospitality industry finds hard to talk about, hearing from different people with unique perspectives. We want to hear from you as well. If you have something that needs to be said about a topic, get in touch so we can include your perspective. Contact us at dirtylinen@deepintheweeds.com.au or hit us up on Insta at Dirty Linen Podcast. We can't wait to hear from you.